you are working on an important project. You need it to be a success. You want participants to feel engaged, and you want to make sure that by the end, they're not frustrated or feeling a little bit stressed out about the whole venture. I have some tips today I want to share with you that I think can improve the process. My name is Ken Okel. I'm a professional speaker. I speak to audiences about ways you can improve your performance on the job, and I pull from my background, which includes broadcast news, hurricane relief, and professional ballet. I know one of those, at least one, does not seem to fit with the others, but in each field, I had to perform at a high level on a daily basis. At the end of this presentation, you're going to have an opportunity to download a little guide that I put together that highlights some of the key points that we talk about today. First off, I understand that when you start a project, you may feel a little like this guy, the dinosaur, in that you're so ready to get going. Why not just start? Who needs to talk about things ahead of time? Okay, whoa, slow down just a little bit, because I think some preparation can make a big difference in your process. First thing I want you to do, make sure that you are sharing the vision for this project, because it may involve people from different departments or different organizations. You want to make sure that everyone understands why they're doing this stuff, why they're being asked, what's the outcome, what are the benefits for pulling off this project. And is there a negative situation that will happen if there are no changes made? You really want people to understand that big picture view of things, because everyone's busy. So they may need to prioritize some of your things above some other things. And you want to make sure that they feel confident that what they're investing their time in will pay off and that it really matters. You want people to buy in to that vision that you have. You want to make sure that you're really explaining the process for this project. Who does what and when, how you all fit together. See the gears there? It's almost like you're a machine where everyone needs to work together in order to have a successful outcome. It's a little like I compare it to a relay race, where you have people running different legs of the relay race. You want to make sure that the last person in the relay race isn't in too much of a hole, so they're having to rush and try to get things done. Make sure people understand, oh, so-and-so will do some work, then they'll pass it on to this person, then it goes here. Make sure that process is understood. If it just seems like a bunch of random stuff, people are less likely to prioritize it. Your needs will get pushed down the list. You get frustrated. They may get frustrated later. We want to avoid frustration. A little explanation can go a long way. For any project, it is not unusual to encounter some challenges. These are unexpected things, but they can happen a lot. Common example, a key member of the project has a family member who's sick. They have to go take care of them for a little while. Or perhaps that person was in a car accident, or they got out of bed and their back tightened up. Whatever happened, a key member of your team is not able to participate for a little while in the project. Make sure that everyone understands what's happened. Another example of this could happen in a large organization where maybe different departments are working together, and all of a sudden, one of those departments has an urgent need. For instance, the sales department. Some people are going to be helping you with your project. Now they suddenly have to sell a lot more. There's an urgent need. They've been told you're selling, nothing else. Suddenly, your project is going to be slowed by this. These things happen. Make sure you're communicating it to everyone, because that can be a key source of frustration. Let's say I am the second person in a project. I have a certain amount of stuff I have to get done, then I pass it on to the third. Imagine that I stay up late working on this thing. I'm killing myself to get it done, and then I find out, oh, the third person, the person who I'm passing things on to, they're out for the next 2 weeks. So I rushed for no reason. You don't want to encounter that type of situation. So when there is a challenge, it may happen, communicate it to everyone so you can get them refocused later on, stay on course, and again, avoid some of that frustration that can come when you're having to collaborate with people and there are a lot of moving pieces in their job. Along those lines, urgency is important. If you have a timeline where you need things to be done by a certain date, make sure people know that. Otherwise, again, they may say, well, if this isn't that important, we can always put it off, or there'll always be some sort of little need that pops up that will go before yours. If you're trying to do something before, let's say, Memorial Day, doing it after Memorial Day may not work. So people have to understand, what is the urgency? Why are you having to do it by this time? See, a lot of these tips, they were really related to communication and making sure people understand these things. Again, don't be the dinosaur who's just running along. Make sure you are, if anything, over communicating all this stuff. It's also important to make sure that you're rallying resources that people may need. Because sometimes someone commits to a project, but then they get given a lot of other work, and they're having to do too much at once, and your project gets pushed aside. Make sure that people feel confident that they will be able to accomplish the things you need them to do in the time that you're allotting. Maybe you got to adjust it. Maybe it's a situation where you need to talk to someone's supervisor to say, so-and-so is working on this project, and I really hope that they're going to be able to give it the time that it needs. I think it's going to be about this much. Does that work with what you're doing? That can always allow the supervisor to say, hey, that's a great idea. I'm going to change some of their other responsibilities so they will have time to focus on it. And I realize this isn't always possible, but why not have the conversation? Maybe it's a situation where you need to increase the people power, or if you had more people working on the project, it could be done faster. Maybe there's an intern who could become involved in this project, supporting it in some fashion. Just little adjustments that you can make. And sometimes it's just simply asking a person, how can I support you so you'll be able to get your work done on this project in a timely fashion? It's a relatively simple question, but it's one where you can get some answers to questions that you never even thought existed. So make sure you're having a good line of communication with people to see, hey, do you need some help with this? I understand that often we have to go to the extra mile. We have to do more than perhaps we thought we could. But if it's possible, make life easier for everyone. Something to keep in mind. To find out more about me, hi, my name is Ken Okel. Go to my website, which is my name, kenokel.com. Email me at tvguy@kenokel.com. Why TV Guy? When I worked in TV news, sometimes you'd be out and about. People would recognize you, but they wouldn't remember your name. So they would say things like, hey, TV Guy. I also welcome you to connect with me on LinkedIn. I do ask one thing. When you send me that connection request, can you tell me where we first encountered one another, like in this presentation? That way, I'm able to separate you from some of the sneaky people on LinkedIn who just want to sell me a bunch of stuff that I really don't need. And of course, here is your guide that I talked about earlier. I'm going to put the download link in the chat section right now. If you're watching this later on YouTube or on my website, I will also have on there the download link. It is free. There's no obligation. Consider it my gift to you. Projects are very important in organizations. You want to make sure you're getting things done. You're improving yourselves. I think these tips can help make that process a lot smoother and avoid some of the frustration that sometimes slows things down. I'm Ken Okel. Take care.